Monday Night Raw wrap up. It's going to be very special because I'm actually currently still halfway through it, basically. Yes, I am currently watching Penta versus Dragon Lee. And if you're wondering, like, why is Bro presenting a wrap up, as the young people would say, when I haven't actually watched it, basically, I've just run out of time, pretty much. Also, our internet has basically gone to crap, and yeah, basically, this stream may or may not work. I'm very much hoping it does. I'm just gonna try and get this on Reddit, guys, as well, by the way, while I'm going live. Just to make you aware, as per usual, if you've never watched me before, that this will be on YouTube, audio podcast under Geek Boy, a wrestling story. So that's the podcast, and it will also be on. Oh yeah, I'm on. Cool, nice one. It will also be on YouTube video. Like I said, I'm just going to share this to Reddit for the people that follow me on there. Yeah. So basically, long story short, I haven't seen all of Raw. I'm probably about three quarters of the way through, so I'm just keeping my eye on the match now. I have made some notes. I mean, I think I've probably seen the main things other than Roman and CM Punk. Like I said, it's Dragon Lee versus Penta at the minute, so I will basically go through the rest of the results whenever I've finished watching it, basically. Oh, let's have a look. Anthony Humphrey, do you remember me? I do remember you, Anthony. Yeah, we spoke a while ago, didn't we, pal? Yeah, we had we had a bit of a chat on the live streams a bit ago, didn't we, mate? Yeah, how are you? You're all right, mate. Yes. Sorry, folks. Just bear me a second because my Reddit is being very, very unhelpful. Let me try and get this live. Let's have a look. By the way, if you want to follow me on Reddit, seeing as I might as well do the sales pitch, I'm on Geeks and Wrestling on Reddit, should anyone be interested in joining. I've got a load of communities on there, like football related. I've got Comic Cons, toys, and so on and so forth, and horror, and one or two politically based ones as well that you can probably imagine. Without wishing to go into, if you just search for Geek Boy Meta as well, I'll be on there somewhere basically. But my Reddit, long story short, it's nothing fancy. I just post a boatload of shit basically about pro wrestling, and I use it to write my Substack articles as well. But anyway, yeah, if you want to have a look, you're more than welcome to do so. Let's have a look. I'm good. How about you? Yeah, I'm all right, Anthony. I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Been a bit stressful recently. I am looking forward to my holiday, Anthony, if you want the truth. So, I will be going on my holiday. Let's have a look. What day is it today? The 17th. I will be on holiday in 13 days' time, and it can't come soon enough because, to be honest, mate, I am knackered. Absolutely cream cracking, basically, mate. So, yeah, looking forward to that. But yeah, no, chilling out at the minute. I'm watching the rest of Monday Night Raw. And yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad. Let me have a look. Happy Flying. Hi, Happy Flying. How you doing? You're all right. Yes, hello everyone that's joining. So, folks, basically, long story short, the thumbnail does not do what it does, what it says on the tin. As I say, I haven't actually finished watching all of Raw, so I apologise if you want to ask any random questions to stall for time while I finish watching it. Basically, you're more than welcome to do so. What I'm going to do actually is, I don't know how many of you are AEW fans, but I know there's a fair few people that follow me because of AEW. Can I just apologise for the other day? I was watching AEW Revolution. By the way, if you're a pro wrestling fan, please order it off Amazon Prime. It was possibly one of the best pay-per-views that I've seen since I've been watching wrestling. It was just an absolute masterpiece, basically. I'd encourage anyone to watch it. I think, what did I pay on Amazon Prime? I think it was like 15 quid or something like that. And despite the fact that our internet is absolutely bloody shocking at the minute, hence the reason why I've not finished watching Raw. Yes, it's actually just frozen again, which is just completely unhelpful, to be honest. So I do apologise, folks, if this feed goes off, but our internet is absolute garbage, basically. So hopefully it doesn't. But yeah, I thought what I'm going to do, because I was meant to do a live stream. When was I doing the live stream? Yesterday for AEW Revolution, and I just ran out of time, basically. I ended up putting Revolution on at, what time was it? About 7:30. And because the internet kept crapping out, I think I finished watching it at 1:20 yesterday morning, which when you've got work is not particularly advisable, but there you go. So yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well, and some bits and pieces that I'm up to. What else have I got to tell you guys? Oh yes, speaking of wrestling, I will be getting my tickets for AEW All In. I'm probably gonna have to get them next week now, unfortunately, because like most people who have a job, and when it gets to the last week of payday, most of us English people, at least the poor ones amongst us, have about 50 quid left, and that's not going to pay for a £200 ticket to go to Wembley Stadium, sadly. So I will be getting my tickets on the 27th of August. The 27th of August, sorry. Try again. I will be getting my tickets on the 27th of March for the 30th of August, basically. So, as per usual, those of you who've watched me for a long time, yes, I will be going to Wembley Stadium to watch AEW. I'll be doing vlogs, shorts. I'm going to try, if I can do, now I've got a bit of a better camera, to basically go live around Wembley Stadium beforehand as well. So I'm going to turn up like a few hours early, because I always end up turning up just before the show. But I thought to myself, right, what I'll do is I'll turn up at something random like 2 o'clock in 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'll take you around Wembley, and then I'll go in, and yeah, it'll be good. Again, cheap plug. If you want to see any of my AEW stuff, I went to AEW All In at Wembley Stadium 2003, 2004. Went Forbidden Door last year at the O2. And there's loads of other wrestling stuff on there. I went to WWE Leeds, WWE Sheffield. I've been to Rev Pro Wrestling. I mean, I've been going to wrestling for years, but obviously I wasn't really doing this beforehand. So there's about 7 or 8 wrestling shows on the channel. So that's just all under Geek Boy Does Wrestling, basically. So if you want to check it out, you're more than welcome to do so. Luthen. Yeah, to be honest, Luthen, I don't know what to do with that. Well done, I guess. Yeah, cool, nice one. Hey, Damien, how you doing? Damien Castillo, how you doing, mate? Again, you're all right. I hope you've had a good time watching wrestling, Damien, the last couple of days. And I hope you managed to watch Raw. Like I said, Damien, I've just been telling everyone basically that I'm currently watching Penta versus Dragon League. Uh, i.e., I haven't actually finished watching Raw yet, so I'm basically doing a classic YouTube thing, and for want of a better phrase, stalling for time. So if anyone has any random wrestling questions or questions about these guys, if you must, you're more than welcome to ask. By the way, yes, I will be covering Liverpool tomorrow in the wretched match that we have against Galatasaray, and I think we all know how that's going to end. So yeah, plan is for tomorrow, going to the gym in Kirkstall, pumping some iron for about 2 hours, because obviously, as you can see, I'm really swole. And then I'll be heading back towards Lee City Centre. I'm going to try and get back, if I can do, for the last sort of half an hour of the match, and then I'm going to find somewhere and do a live stream in the centre of Leeds, because people randomly seem to like me doing these live streams in the dark around Leeds City Centre, which is a bit weird, but fine. But yes, I'll get on to all that in a minute. But yes, I'll be on live tomorrow. I'll also be doing, in fact, I'll tell you what I'm doing now, because I usually do it the other way around at the end. But basically, I'll be Liverpool versus Galatasaray live stream tomorrow. There'll be a live stream for AEW, not Revolution, AEW Dynamite. Friday's Toy Shorts Friday on the channel. If you don't know, that's just when I put a boatload of toy shorts on of cool things, because I'm like a massive toy collector, if you don't know. By the way, as well, I'm going to try a bit of an experiment in a couple of weeks. So my good friend Finn, who some of you will remember from the channel, was asking me the other day, can I do some toy shorts of my wrestling figures and my wrestling collection? And it's funny you should say that, like I said to him, because I'm actually planning on gutting out the command center. Now, if you don't know, the command center is my little home away from home at the top of the house. Basically, it's where I keep all my geek memorabilia. So all my Liverpool shirts are up there. Anime stuff is up there. Comic books are up there. Wrestling figures, DC, Marvel, NECA, blah, 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 blah. All of that's up there, basically. And long story short, our house is completely full. I mean, you won't be able to see, but behind me, in fact, no, in front of me, I'm staring at a literal wall of Lego, which I was showing my friend, the other day on here. Yeah, so I'm going to be gutting out the command center, which is where, like I said, I keep all my toys, and basically I will be remodeling it essentially. So, but I'm also going to try and turn that into a live stream, which I may have stolen from an idea that I might have stolen from one of my other subscribers, who I also subscribe to his channel. He knows who he is, but dude, if you are watching at some point, I'm nicking your gimmick, basically. So there we go. Anyway, swig of water for the working man. I hope everyone enjoyed 316 Day, by the way, yesterday. I only found out it was 316 yesterday. This morning, which I've completely forgotten about, which being a huge Stone Cold Steve Austin fan, I'm quite embarrassed about, but still. Happy 316 Day if you did celebrate it. Yeah, so all of that out of the way, right, basically, like I said, I'm still watching Monday Night Raw, so I'm actually going to talk a little bit about what happened at AEW Revolution as my Monday Night Raw stream freezes yet again on Netflix. By the way, guys, if any of you are thinking of joining Talk Talk, do yourself a favour and don't. They are just bloody hopeless. Anyway, right, so in terms of AEW, like I said, it was absolutely brilliant. I won't go through every single thing. I'm just going to pick out a few highlights here and there. So we had Jack Perry when Revolution first started, basically beat Ricochet for the what is that title? The international title, I think it's called, something along those lines. I didn't see all of the Battle Royal because it was on an AEW 0 Hour, but there was a really good finish with Jack and Ricochet. And yeah, that started. I really like the way that AEW do that on the pay-per-view, because they always do it with a match that starts. So obviously when you've got, same thing with WWE, when you've got like the 3 hour that they have beforehand, but WWE would finish theirs and then they'd go into an advert break sort of thing. AEW just carry on, so you end up in the middle of the match at the start, and I think that's really clever and really good. Second match was the Young Bucks against FTR. Wow, what a match it was. I'm not going to try and describe some of these matches. I would just urge you to watch it on where can you get it from? Amazon. I think you can buy AEW on YouTube. I think you can get it on Fight. I had a Fight subscription for a while last year when I was off work, so I was watching AEW at daft hours, like, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the morning and stuff, as you do. But yeah, I'd encourage anyone to go and watch the Young Bucks versus FTR. It was absolutely bloody magnificent. Basically, FTR win the match. At the end, there was like all these spots. They were all covered in blood. There were ridiculous moves that they were doing. The Young Bucks children got involved for some reason, which I did find was my son found that highly amusing. Also, my son, who watches WWE, but he started watching AEW, he was livid when the Bucks lost, because obviously it was all the children being upset that their daddies had lost. But then at the end, the arena lights black out, and all of a sudden, all you hear is, "You think you know me." And then I was going to say Edge then, but not Edge. Adam Copeland came out, otherwise known as Edge, by the way. Um, and then Christian came out as well with that custom Titantron thing where he says, father, inspiration, and then it says arsehole. It honestly, I was there when they did it for the first time at Forbidden Door, and it was honestly, it was absolutely hysterical. Basically, Edge and Christian, Cope and Christian basically beat up the Bucks, and then they had a bit, not the Bucks, they beat up FTR, and then they had to stare down the Bucks. So I'm assuming there's going to be some sort of triple threat match, or maybe they'll have Edge and Christian go over on the Bucks, and then they will have a match, presumably at maybe Double or Nothing in May. I'm not totally sure, but yeah, there we go. Hey Logan, how you doing, mate? You're all right. Welcome as per usual. The Texas Death. Oh, Logan, yeah, you're a man after my own heart, mate. That was brilliant. I absolutely. So, like I said, Logan, I'm having a load of trouble with my internet at the minute. So basically I put the I couldn't watch it on the night. So I had to watch it the next day, and I came home from work, sorted out the house and everything, got food as you do, and all that business, and put the pay-per-view on at 7:30. And I thought to myself, yeah, well, I looked and it was like 4 hours, and I thought, well, it's not going to last that long, it'll be all right. And I thought, well, I'll be done in time for a live stream. I didn't finish watching it until 1:20 yesterday morning, because I'm one of these. I kept saying to myself, you need to go to sleep, you need to go to sleep. But I'm a stubborn man, as most of us are who are men. And I was just like, no, I'm going to watch all of it. I'm not going to have it go halfway through. And so I was very tired this morning, but still, never mind. But yeah, no, I'm glad I stayed up for it, Logan. It was bloody brilliant. One of the best Texas Death matches I've ever seen. I loved, I'll get onto the main event, obviously, in a minute, because I'm just going through everything, but I absolutely loved the tribute to Terry Funk as well. I recognised MJF's tights straight away. It was, yeah, I mean, that spot with the syringe was, I mean, look, I've seen everything in wrestling that you could possibly imagine. That was brutal. And the glass, obviously, I know it's gimmicked glass, and obviously the wrestlers are well prepared and so on and so forth. But at the end of the day, that shit is going to sting, however gimmicked it is. But yeah, no, it was a masterpiece. What happens with Hangman now? Let's have a look. I can't believe Hangman not. Yeah, well, this is the thing, Logan. I mean, I don't know how. I don't really know how AEW is going to book themselves out of that, because I remember way back when Cody was at AEW, they did a very, very similar thing where I think he couldn't challenge for, I don't know if it was the World Heavyweight title, but he couldn't challenge for a certain title. I think if he lost to Jericho or someone along that, I can't remember who it was now because it was a long, long time ago, but basically Cody couldn't challenge for anything again. I'm just watching Paul Heyman at the minute. Honestly, whoever did Heyman's makeup this weekend needs a bonus. Look at the state of the man. Bloody hell. He looks like me when I came in from work the other day. Crikey. But yeah, dude, how they. I mean, I've been thinking about the Hangman thing, Logan. To be honest, and there's the easy one whereby you have Hangman basically ruining MJF's lot. So let's say, for example, Hangman takes 3 or 4 months off and he comes back and he literally ruins his life. And they do like a Becky Lynch where she basically gave AJ Lee a title match. You have it to the point where he shows up at his house or harasses his wife, whatever the case may be. And to the point where MJF says, all right, you could have a title match. So that's way number one. You could, I mean, you could literally just do something as crappy as, I mean, I don't know if Chris Daniels was still the general manager, but you could do something as ridiculous as, right, MJF, you've attacked, I don't know, Brody King, for example, and your punishment is Hangman Adam Page can now basically compete for the world heavyweight title. I don't know. Those are the only ways I can really think of at this precise moment. But yeah, I don't know, Logan. They're gonna have to think of something, and think of something sensible. I'm just watching Logan Paul and Paul Heyman. Obviously, I can't hear what they're saying at the moment because obviously I can't be having the raw commentary on here because I would get into lots of trouble, to say the very least. I did actually do that at the start when I had my YouTube. One of my friends had to point out, you do know one or two of these videos you film, you've got a TV in the background. And I was like, oh, am I not allowed to do that? And they were like, no. And I was like, oh, crap, basically. Oh, I get Maxime Dupree now. Yeah, no comment. Natalie Neidhart deserves better. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, the light tube spot was something cool and hard to see it happen. Oh, dude, seriously, like, yeah, that light tube spot was. I just thought it was gonna. I just thought basically it was gonna be, they were gonna hit each other really hard, but it was just the fact that it actually shattered, and I was like, wow. I mean, do you know what? Credit to MJF as well, because obviously he comes across as a smarmy heel, but like that match reminded me a lot because I'm an old man of the Mick Foley. Well, the Mick Foley match with The Rock when so not the empty arena one, the one that they did at the Royal Rumble. I want to say it was 1999, where basically The Rock just kept hitting Mick Foley with steel chairs one after the other after another. It also reminded me, funnily enough, again of Mick Foley against Triple H in Mick's retirement match before his official retirement match, which wasn't actually his retirement match in the end after all that. But the way Foley put Hunter over, because after that you had so much respect for Hunter and The Rock as like legitimate threats, like not just fancy boys at the end of the day, that they can actually go and do the violence and stuff. And Mick Foley was brilliant at doing that and putting people over, and it was a really good job by Hangman, in my opinion, to sell all that. But yeah, there we go. I think Hangman will scare MJF into another match. Yeah, well, that's what I'm going with, Logan. Because I mean, well, to be honest, what I was thinking was, mate, was there's so many people in the AEW roster on the men's side, and now with the women's as well, which I'm going to get onto in a minute. You've got Swerve Strickland needs a run with the belt at some point. Samoa Joe technically never got his rematch. Darby Allin's going to have to get the World Heavyweight title at some point because it's literally been whatever it is, 6 years now. So he's going to have to get it at some point. Will Ospreay goes without saying. Look, my prediction is Will Ospreay wins the belt at Wembley Stadium, which I hope he does because I'm going to that, like I said. And I'm trying to think who else you've got. I think Bandido is a superb wrestler. I think he will get it at some point. So what I'm saying is basically you could theoretically keep Hangman away from that title for, I don't know, possibly a year to 18 months kind of thing. And I wouldn't say the crowd will forget, but like obviously if you get Swerve in a feud with, I don't know, Ospreay after Ospreay beats MJF, for example, that feud's going to last at least 3 or 4 months as it is. You know what I mean? So they've got plenty of things they can do with it. Like I said, I'd be astonished if Darby Allin doesn't win that title. Absolutely astonished. Wouldn't surprise me if Cass wins it either. Okada, he's another one. I not really best pleased with the way that they're booking Okada, which I'm going to talk about as well. I just think it's been absolutely ludicrous. At the end of the day, Okada for me is one of the top 5 wrestlers in the world. Simple as that. On form at the moment, he's that good. And yeah, why they've got him in a trios tag match, I mean, I pass. I've got no idea. Very strange booking by Mr. Khan. Which he has been known for. As much as I like Tony Khan, he's done some brilliant things for the business. He's some of his booking decisions leave a lot to be desired. Anyway, so going back to the card, I'm just going to pick out a few bits and pieces. Shout out to Tony Storm and Marina Shafir. That was a brilliant match. Absolutely brilliant. I love the heck out of that. The bit where she bit bloody Marina Shafir's foot, and then a how do I put this? Because my son saw this, and obviously at that age, when he's like 12-year-old lad, and he's got like roughly my sense of humour, only very immature. I mean me, by the way, not my son. But he saw a spot where Marina Shafir was bitten in uh, a region of anatomy which one wouldn't usually target as a pro wrestler. And my son saw this, and basically he ran upstairs. And I won't say the word, obviously, but he thought this was the funniest thing he'd ever seen. He was like, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, this lady just bit another woman's," basically. And all of a sudden, Mrs. Meta, who you might have heard me talk about, she comes bounding down the stairs, and I'm like, "Uh-oh." It's just like, what's this about women biting each other's? And I was like, I don't know, love. It doesn't usually happen. It was like, it better not bloody happen again. It was just like, oh. And I was like, oh, thanks, son. Cheers, you've just got daddy in the shit. Cheers for that. It's all right. I just moved it out. I bought some chocolate. Lads, look, you've got to fork out for the chocolate and flowers occasionally. It's just standard, isn't it, really? Yeah, and then before I answer the comments from George and Logan, I have seen them, by the way, and I'll answer them in just a second. The Ronda Rousey of it all. Do you know? I know people are complaining about Ronda being an AW in general, and I know people thought, what on earth are they doing, like booking Ronda to come in like that with no announcement, no build up. Can I be honest? I actually quite liked it. At first, I was like, I'm not sure about that, but I don't know why. I just thought it was quite an original way to do it. To be honest, because it's very much sort of MMA led, especially obviously Ronda being one of the best MMA female fighters of all time. By the way, anyone who tells you that she want a trailblazer, just ignore them. This thing about Ronda, and yes, I am a fan of Ronda. This thing about Ronda Rousey being a bang average fighter, which usually comes from male incel fans. Just, I'm sorry, but I used to watch MMA and UFC. Granted, Ronda is not as good as the likes of Amanda Nunes, in my opinion. I really like Amanda Nunes and Valentina Shevchenko. They were my goals. I really like what's her name? Nadja Rose Nadjumaranis. I think I'd forget how to pronounce her name, but they were my people. I love Chris Cyborg and Gina Carano, obviously, who's fighting Ronda. But yeah, anyone that tells you Ronda Rousey was shit, just ignore us. They haven't got a bloody clue what they're talking about. But in general, I quite like the way it was done. I liked the shock value of her just walking in and people all of a sudden go, "That's Ronda Rousey," and it did get a massive pop as well. I also really like the way that they transitioned straight from that to Moxley versus Takeshita in the what was it, the Continental Classic match, and basically the Ronda ended up hanging out with John Moxley, which was very, very cool. Especially with what happened at the end of the match, because there are all sorts of possibilities now. Like, is Ronda Rousey in the Death Riders? Is John Moxley going to get turfed out, and maybe they have two female lead co-rulers of the group? Oh, come on, Natty, please, 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 sharpshooter Maxine. Right, ref, tap, please. I'm going to be really annoyed if Maxine Dupree beats Natty Neidhart, to be honest. Is that it? Tap. Hooray! Go on, Natty. Go on, go. Excellent. Right, I've just found out that Natty Neidhart's just beat Maxine Dupree. If you're wondering what I'm doing, folks, by the way, I haven't actually finished Monday Night Raw. This was meant to be a Raw live stream. I've completely bollocksed it up, basically, and I haven't seen all of it, essentially. So, Yes, anyway. Let me have a look. Will is going for blood with Mox after Mox did to Will at Forbidden Door. Well, funnily enough, Logan, I actually saw that. So I was I'm trying to think. So you know where the entrance ramp is? I'm assuming you watched it, Forbidden Door. Where the ramp comes down, I was on the other side of the cage. So I saw all this. I saw all the setup and everything. I saw the Death Riders and what Mox did to Osprey. There were people going mental, absolutely mental. But funnily enough, when I came out of the arena, and this is on one of my shorts, by the way, if you want to check it out, there was I'm walking out of the arena, and I'm absolutely bloody ravenous. I've not eaten anything all day. I wanted to go for a drink and I wanted to get out of there. And all of a sudden, I saw all these people running as fast as they could towards like the escalator and not hanging over the escalator. I thought, what the hell are these weirdos doing? And all of a sudden, I could hear this. Yeah, we beat his ass, and I was like, that's Mox. All of a sudden, I was like, oh, so I went running over and basically, like the rest of them, I'm hanging over with my phone, kind of thing. And all the Death Riders came out, and Marina Shafir was there as well, and she was effing and blinding, calling us all words that I definitely cannot say that would rhyme roughly with uh, runts, I think, is the only word that I could really use for Cockney rhyming slang. But yeah, no, Shafia's sat there giving us the V's and this, that, and the other, and all the English fans are swearing at her. She's offering us all out for fights and everything. But yeah, I did actually saw what happened to Osprey, dude. So yeah, it was pretty epic, to be fair. Right, George, I'm finally with you now, mate. I'm finally with you. Huge win and a really strong performance from Arsenal today. Yes, George. You must be loving this season. Congratulations about winning the European Cup and the League Cup and the FA Cup and Tottenham being relegated. Sounds like a wonderful time. Yeah. Sadly for others of us, I will be very pleased when it is when's the end of the season? May the 24th. And then me and the lads, because a load of us are Leeds fans, a couple of us are Newcastle fans, fair few of the lads who are Liverpool fans, and so on and so forth. I'm literally going to buy them all a pint and literally say, right, lads, thank God Almighty that shit's finished, basically, because it's been, yeah, it's yeah, I had to say I haven't enjoyed this season. I mean, obviously, it started off with a tragedy of God rest his soul, Diogo, which is way more important than any of this rubbish. But like, I was there when we did the parade. I saw the attack. Well, I didn't. I missed the attack on Wall Street, but yeah, oh, this is the Randy Orton promo. Right, all the promos and stuff, guys, I will just watch later because obviously I can't be playing it now because it'll end up on my feed. But yeah, no, the season for Liverpool, George, has been it's been a complete disaster. So I'm glad you're enjoying it, my friend, because I most certainly have not. There we go. I think Will is going to get a really push this year. Well, I'm just coming on to that, Logan, actually. You'll be delighted to hear because can I just say in the build up to Will Ospreay that John Moxley versus Takeshita is possibly the best pro wrestling match I've seen this year. Again, I'm not even going to describe it. All I'm going to do is this. It was magnificent. Takeshita, I know he didn't get the dub, as the Americans would say, but that was brilliant. I really hope that Tony's going to book him strong now, because he deserves it. Because that was just a superb, absolutely brilliant professional wrestling match, and I think it's probably my match of the year so far. I've actually got, because I'm a geek, as the name implies, I've actually got match of the year candidates already, so I'm adding that to Gunther versus AJ Styles, Chris Statlander versus Tekla, #1, and randomly Clark Connors and Gabe Kidd versus Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin. So those are my matches of the year so far, if anyone is interested. Let me have a look. Louis Barber. Sir, I have a question for you. As long as it's not rude, Louis, you can ask away, my friend. Let's have a look. Logan and also Powerhouse is just fun. Yeah, Logan. Seriously, I don't know what's going on with that. Like the only thing I can think of, because I've been thinking about this thing with Powerhouse Hobbs. I mean, there's two things, Logan. The only thing I can think of is that they hired Powerhouse Hobbs out of spite. Because obviously he was involved in a major angle with the Ops, and they were meant to be going against Swerve Strickland, but and then Joe's got injured. Powerhouse Hobbs has gone, so they're having sort of retrofit Hook now, and he hasn't got anything to do with it. It's buggered up one of their storylines basically. Now, are WWE that petty? I'd have to say yes, because obviously they do run against AEW, as is their right. They can run TV whenever they want to, but it's just like you feel like getting Triple H and saying, Hunter, you do know that when AEW put their pay per views on first, that most of us will just watch their pay per view and then yours. They're probably not losing that much money because then you, like in England, for example, I can only speak for myself, but I just did an all day. I can't remember. It was AW All In and then All In Texas, and I think SummerSlam. Maybe I just had an all day because, funnily enough, my beloved missus wanted, my son wanted. I think they'd gone. God knows where they'd gone, so I forget. But basically, long story short, I'd been left with a husband pass, and I'd been left on my own. So literally, here you can't see there's a blue table next to me. I basically just had a cooler, boatload of wine, and this is a bit rank, but I bought some takeaway the night before in a huge box, and basically just kept putting my hand in this takeaway and just throwing it into my mouth. It was brilliant. So why they keep doing this running the pay-per-views against each other? I mean, I like I said, people like me, I'm just going to watch them both. So, or I'll watch the next one tomorrow. So stop being idiots, basically. The other thing that I think about Powerhouse Hobbs Logan is either he's injured. Number three is they're making a point and they're going to send him to developmental. Um, like, oh, AEW, we need to like iron out all the kinks and stuff. Option number four, the only other thing I can think of is he's going to be involved in some sort of major angle um, after, just before WrestleMania or just after WrestleMania, and maybe he's going to be. Let's say, for argument's sake, let's say Roman Reigns wins the Universal title off of Punk, which I hope he doesn't because I'm a massive CM Punk fan. But if he does, he does. Maybe he comes out and attacks Roman Reigns, and Powerhouse Hobbs goes into a major feud with Roman, or Cody Rhodes gets out of it against Randy Orton, and like it's Cody versus Powerhouse. I don't know, but I mean there has to be a reason because I just don't understand. I mean, the way they brought him in was really odd as well because they actually called him Powerhouse Hobbs, but then said Royce Keys, and it's just like, I mean, Jesus Christ Almighty. I mean, yeah, it was just really, really odd, really odd. Right, folks, on Raw Watch, I've just got to the bit where Kofi Kingston is still trying to recruit Javon Evans. I'm going to see how much longer of this I've got to go. Honestly, I've been watching this for hours now. Oh, thank goodness, I've got 40 minutes of Raw left to go. Right. Okay, cool. Let's have a look. Not going to be me. Where's that question, Louis, by the way? Not going to be mean, but WWE have gone downhill. Yeah, no, I agree with that, Logan. Definitely. I mean, at the moment, look, I am biased because I love AEW, as you guys know. I don't think it's even close at the minute, to be honest. I mean, obviously, look, WWE are always going to make more money than AEW. It's not competition as such. AEW, as Tony Khan says, and has repeatedly said, are just well, he calls it a challenger brand. I mean, I wouldn't even call them that, to be honest, because the viewing figures are obviously nowhere near. And WWE are on Netflix. I mean, obviously, they're on HBO Max as well, so Dynamite are doing well, but they're never going to be in the same league as WWE. But match quality, I'm afraid there's no. I mean, it's not even close, to be honest. Oh, Danhausen. Oh, is he going to curse them? I'm just watching. It's New Day. It's Grayson and Kofi Kingston with Danhausen at the minute. Go on, curse them. Come on. It's just Curse Grayson Waller. That's very funny, actually. Um, yes, brilliant. Anyway, but yeah, no, Logan, I absolutely agree. It's yeah, it's been. I wouldn't say it's been appalling WWE by any stretch of the imagination, but it's definitely not as good as it was even about a year ago, in my opinion. I thought Raw, generally Raw last year was very, very good. The thing that really let them down last year was SmackDown. It was, I mean, I did a review last year of, I can't remember what SmackDown it was, and literally it was the worst wrestling show I had ever seen. I've been watching pro wrestling for 40 years, and I can't even remember what happened. It was garbage. Absolute rubbish of like elephantine proportions, basically. So yeah, um, I definitely think AEW's got the better program at the minute. Probably even NXT as well. I am going to try and start watching NXT at some point when I can do. But yeah, work and all that other stuff. Let me have a look. Oh yes, so the thing that Logan was saying a minute ago. Obviously we had got a certain brav. Will Ospreay came back. The vignette of him in that tube was brilliant, by the way. I know some people thought it was a bit hokey, like reanimated Frankenstein. I thought it was brilliant, and honestly, how good did Osprey look? Like, it was quite surprising as well because they kept saying March for Osprey to come back, and I just kind of thought, yeah, I can't see it being March with the sort of injuries he's got. And I thought, well, maybe he'll come back just before um, Wembley Stadium, like a couple of months before. But like, he's back now, and he looked brilliant. He looks jacked. The spin over the top rope when he landed on, I think it was Pac and Danny Garcia, like chef's kiss. It was bloody brilliant. He looks fantastic. I'll be very interested to see what they're going to do with that because Mox has now gone super over, but then again, he did put Osprey out, and Osprey's like more over than Mox, in my opinion. It's also interesting now that Ronda Rousey could be in the faction. Maybe it was just a one and done. Who knows? But like, um, I think Ronda might just be one of that. She might be like their Brock Lesnar, where she just turns up periodically. Obviously, it's going to be a time for her Netflix fight as well, because she's got all publicity and stuff from that. Um, but yeah, that would be very interesting because you could have a whole thing with Will Osprey going after John Moxley, but he's being protected by Ronda Rousey and Marina Shafir, which I wouldn't have had that on my bingo card this time last year, put it that way. But yeah, no, I thought the way Will came back was bloody brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Just very quickly, Willow and Harley Cameron lost. I had to start fast forwarding at that point, so I can't really comment on it that much. I saw a couple of minutes. It's not particularly my cup of tea, to be honest, that tag team. I do really like Willow Nightingale. I don't mind Harley at all, but I think they're better as singles personally, but that's just me. So they lost it to Mega Bad, I think they're calling themselves now. Next one was, yes, Swerve Brody King was, yeah, I loved it. It was absolutely brilliant. Just gratuitous violence and just utter carnage and nonsense. I thought it was great. Shout out to Brody King. Fuck eyes. Excuse me. Sorry, I've got a cold. Excuse me. And Swerve. I love Swerve Strickland. I think he might. He's definitely in my top five most favorite professional wrestlers in the world. I absolutely love the bloke. Um, let's have a look. I feel like MJF will have more respect with fans because the beating you took. Yeah, well, that's what I meant, Logan. It wouldn't. I think that's why they're going to do it because it makes MJF look like he's not just a massive something rhyming with Rick. He can actually go. I think the thing with MJF, because he was talking about this with Chris Van Vliet on his podcast a while ago, and I think Van Vliet said something like, "Do you think that your wrestling isn't taken as it's not taken as seriously as it should be because of your promos?" And MJF basically said, "Yeah." And I agree. I think MJF's one of the best professional wrestlers in the world. Well, I mean, he is. I mean, it's obvious. He's brilliant. He's absolutely superb. But like, he's always going to be known as a talker more than like a wrestler. I mean, I wouldn't say. I was going to say Ric Flair, but obviously Ric Flair's known as one of the best professional wrestlers of all time. But there were even times when Ric Flair just people just loved his promos, and it's like, guys, he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. What are you talking about, kind of thing. But yeah, then again, you've got the opposite. I remember Bret Hart for me was one of the best of all time. His promos I really enjoyed personally, but for some people, I remember in the mid-90s he was very sort of vanilla, babyface, and so on and so forth. But then obviously when Bret had his heel turn, he kind of went against like Eth America and all that, and Canadian Hero, and yeah, I thought Bret Hart was an actually really, really good promo, to be fair. Through the water, sorry. Oh, we've now got Raquel versus Stephanie Vaquer. Excellent. How much longer do I have of the world's longest Monday Night Raw to go? Jesus Christ. 36 minutes now, folks. I can't believe I'm trying to rush through a wrestling program, but like, I literally, because our internet keeps crapping out, I put this one on tonight at 7:45. It's 11:15 now, and I still haven't finished watching Raw, but still, there you go. Speaking of my favourite wrestlers, now, I'm going to preface this with this is just my opinion, by the way, so feel free to disagree. But the best wrestler in the world, my favourite current best wrestler, who I've actually made a Reddit community for. Yes, I know that's very, very sad, but it's my Reddit. I can do what I want with it. Anyway, the best wrestler in the world, in my opinion, a woman I absolutely love and adore as platonically as you could possibly go, retained her AEW Women's World Championship when Tekla beat Chris Statlander. I'll just say for anyone who doesn't know this, that, and most people who watch me know that I love Tekla. So when I was off work last year I've spoken about this before, for mental health reasons and all rubbishy stuff that some of us go through. Long story short, I had a depression day, and at that time I was trying to do YouTubey stuff while I was off as well, but I just didn't feel like doing it on this particular day, and I thought, right, watch AEW Dynamite, and just make some notes, because I was trying to do like live streams for AEW as well. And I thought to myself, right, fine, I'll just watch it. So I watched these matches. I wasn't feeling good about myself, just not feeling it whatsoever. And all of a sudden, this mad, weird Austrian psychopath spider, sociopathic, screaming, mentalist wrestler woman turns up. And it was Tekla. And basically, she knocked me out of that depression for today. I was literally, at that particular day, I was like, what the hell is that? And then you've got the spider walk, you've got the spider crawl, you've got all these like flips and stuff, and really cool moves, and it looked like she'd stolen Peter Parker's wardrobe. I was just like, who is this girl? And long story short, ever since then, I've watched Tekla, and for my money, yeah, I'll stand on what I've said. I think Tekla genuinely, and I'm very biased because I love her work, I think she has a genuine argument for being one of the best professional wrestlers on form at the moment in the world. In any company, I'd stand her work up again. I mean, her promos, vignettes, the way she, her dresses, her timing on her promos, her cadence, the brilliant heel moves that she does, the way she can control the crowd, crowd manipulation. I can't speak highly enough of the woman. She is absolutely brilliant. I felt a bit sorry for Statlander because obviously there was a tiny bit of cheating involved, to say the least. By the way, I didn't mention that Kenny Omega came back against stop Brody King from being smashed into a cinder block, as you do. Swerve, you sicko. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed Tekla versus Statlander. Wasn't thrilled with the crowd reaction to it, but then again, it was like the trouble is with AEW. Sorry, guys, I'm going all over the plot again as I usually do. The trouble is with AEW, like when you watch a WWE pay per view, you get like 4 matches, 5 if you're lucky, and you kind of going, what's all that about? That's 5 matches. The AEW got the opposite problem. I think I counted there was something in the region of 14 or 15, including 0 hour. And don't get me wrong, I mean, I paid last year, I think it was, I want to say in the end, I paid 55 quid for Forbidden Door. And I actually got a really good seat as well, to be fair. And I got treated to what I think it was 11 wrestling matches. 3.5 hours worth of entertainment. And I actually turned up late as well. I missed the whole 0 hour stuff. So, I mean, you can't not say it's not value for money, but maybe. I mean, yesterday I looked at it, it clocked in their pay per view. Revolution was 4.5 hours, and I'm like, "Ugh," and that wasn't including 0 hour, by the way. And I was like, I'm not sure about 4.5. Maybe we should be looking at 3.5, 340, but that's just me being weird, I suppose. Let me. Hey, Finn, how you going? You all right? Yes. Hello, son. Yeah, I was just talking about you, Finn. Not behind your back or anything. No, just talking about the wrestling figures that you would like me to film. I am currently in the process of doing a schematic, basically, of the room and trying to organise in my mind's eye where everything's going. But it's looking like, Finn, there's going to be a whole wrestling shelf, which I need to either buy one or make one. So I could probably do with DT's advice if he's somewhere on the stream at some point. Let's have a look. Oh, Finn, I'll just read yours first before. Just bear me a second, Logan. I had a nasty injury today during school football. The ball got smashed in my eyes so fast, so hard. I didn't even see the ball coming. I couldn't even open my right eye. I pretty much went blind. My eye is so blurry. Oh, I'm sorry, Finn. I'm assuming you've been to the doctors, mate. Yes. Yeah. If you've not been to the doctors, Finn, get yourself to the doctors because you don't mess around with eyesight, dude. You need to get that sort of thing checked. But yeah, I hope you're all right, mate. That's wow, that's awful. Bloody hell. I mean, I've had a football blasted somewhere that looks similar to an eye, but is slightly lower down, which was sorry, that was such a poorly thing to say. It wasn't the nicest injury I'd ever had in my entire life. Let me put it that way. I wasn't doing cartwheels for a few days after that. Put it that way. But yeah, if you haven't, Finn, get yourself to the doctors. Don't do 90s bloke stuff like I used to do with that sort of thing. Logan, what do you feel would make WWE better and bring fans back? Well, Logan, to be honest, funnily enough, like I said, this isn't really a plot. Well, I mean, it kind of is, but most of you know that I write Substack articles. Funnily enough, I just wrote one about that the other day, which I can't remember what it's called now, but I'll give you roughly what it's about. Alistair Black, as in Malachi Black of AEW fame, who obviously started with WWE and was NXT champion. He was doing really, really well. He made a comment the other day. I was on a site called WrestleZone. I don't know if anyone else uses WZ, but they're really, really good. I rely on them for a lot of my wrestling news, and they've got really good journalists. It's a really, really good website. I urge anyone to check it out because those guys are really, really good at WrestleZone. But yeah, they were carrying some quotes from Alistair Black, and I think he was on a radio show, something like that. I'm not sure what he was on, but basically someone asked him what you think, what do you think about your WWE run so far? And I think they were trying to be polite because I think most of us would all agree it's yeah, it's not been Arsenal adjacent is the politest thing I could say. Some of Alistair Black's booking has been hysterically bad. But he actually said something along the lines of, do you know what, I've really enjoyed it and it's been really, really good. And I'm like, look, Aleister Black can't come back. He's a contracted WWE employee. There is a point to all this, Logan. I'm getting to my point. Sorry, I'd go around the house with this sort of thing. Obviously, he can't come out and say, "Yeah, my booking shit, dude. Hunter and Bruce don't know what they're talking about. I need to be in the main event of WrestleMania, blah blah blah," because then he will get told off and potentially lose his job. So obviously, he can't say it. But he looked and sounded really enthusiastic. And I don't know why. Basically, the reason I have Substack is it's not to really like. Well, I mean, if people want to pay me for Substack articles, that would be fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but it got me to write a Substack article. And the reason I write Substack is I've got all this shit in my brain basically, and I can't have loads of rubbish in my brain because I need to get it out somewhere. And basically, long story short, I heard about this Substack thing, didn't think anything of it, and basically. Long story short, I think I've written something in the region of about 100 articles on it so far within the last year, maybe 100, 150, I don't know. But I felt compelled to write about what Alistair said, Logan, because I think the main problem that WWE've got, and it's shared by AEW, and it's something that I've been thinking about for a while, it's just the booking. And it's the short-term booking, the long-term booking not particularly being good enough. It's like a shiny thing comes along, especially for Tony Khan, Logan, possibly more than WWE. Literally, like the first shiny thing comes along, and then it's like Hunter and Tony Khan, or whoever the case may be, are in the sandbox going, "Yay, I've got Trick Williams. Let's get rid of Royce Keys, for example." That's just off the top of my head. Or like, "Oh look, Bron Breakker's come back. Yay! Let's get rid of Rusev," or this, that, and the other. Oh, Io Sky's just come out. Liv Morgan's now running away from Io Sky. Oh, and Raquel Rodriguez has just thrown Io Sky into the announcer's desk, and she's disappeared. Anyway, yeah. So basically, Logan, all that stream of consciousness. I should have just answered the question, possibly. Sorry. I think the booking needs to severely be improved in WWE. I'm enjoying the build to WrestleMania a lot more now as it gets ahead, but I've got to be honest, the build to Cody and Roman was fabulous. The build to the first one was also pretty good. And I really enjoyed WrestleMania 40. The build to last year's WrestleMania was not very good, in my opinion. And if it hadn't been for... Oh, Stephanie Vickers just won. If it hadn't been for the triple threat match with Rhea, Bianca, and who else? Io, and then obviously you had Punk on the first night with Rollins and Roman. If you took those two matches out, I mean, they were pretty... I won't say WrestleMania was die, but look, I always enjoy WrestleMania. Look, I get to watch pro wrestling for like 4 hours, which is always a good time for me. And you can't have every single match be a knockout. Obviously, there was the really cool bit with Joe Hendry when he was facing Randy Orton. But in terms of WWE, I just think that when Bron Breakker is fit, they've got to focus on him. Why Joe Hendry is in NXT when he's so over, I don't know if anyone can explain that to me. I don't know if there's something I'm missing. I don't understand what that's all about. Just put him on the main roster and just let him cook. Just let him play with Punk or Cody or Bronson Reed or Logan Paul or someone like that. Because look, Joe Hendry, that people say it was all about his song and this, that, and the other. Look, I think he's more than proved that he's a very, very talented lad. Why he's still in NXT, God alone only knows. So it's just basic decisions for me. Like, I like what they're doing with Oba now that they've got Brock Lesnar. But again, if WWE wants to prove to me that they're serious about the future, Oba Femi will go over against Brock Lesnar. And now I know there's a lot of Lesnar fans who follow me who are not going to be best pleased about that. But does Brock Lesnar need that win? Does it make any difference at his stage of his career? Not in my opinion. So yeah, to answer your question, Logan, I just think the booking needs to be improved, and just across the board. I think AEW doesn't have the booking problems they once did, but it's still very much like, oh, shiny new toy, let's chuck this guy away. So yeah, I think things need to be improved. I think they're going to need WWE need a reset after WrestleMania, and they need to basically start from scratch. I would build it all around Bron Breakker personally. People like Jake and Fatu, and so on and so forth. Definitely Trick Williams. He is a star, that lad, and they need to base a lot of it around Trick as well, in my opinion. So I'd basically say as well, a lot of the youth they need to concentrate on. Also as well, like this, it doesn't really. It not WWE as such, but like the thing with Drew McIntyre is not going to go well with people. I'm gutted for Drew because it looks like he's going to be doing something with Jake Fatu. Don't get me wrong, that'll still be a good match at WrestleMania, or so I thought. But then I found out it's on SmackDown next week, and it's like, well, what's Drew doing then? I mean, like, and to take it off him like a month before WrestleMania is really shit. I think it's a little bit out of order if you want the truth. And I know I'm British and I'm going to be behind Drew, but I don't think there's a wrestling fan out there that doesn't respect what McIntyre's done. To take it away from it at the last minute is it's really, really poor in my opinion. But yeah, I'd say overall, I hope that answers your question, Logan. I just think the booking needs to be a hell of a lot better in my opinion. Sorry, Finn, I'm just going to come back to you, mate. It was so bad, literally all of the year 11 lads who were pretty much all my mates shouted to stop the Mac. Bloody hell, mate, crikey. Everyone was trying to help me get my stuff and an ice pack so I could go home. They're great lads, great mates, man. Yeah, well, Logan, not Logan, Jesus Christ, sorry, Finn, I apologise. Finn, like I said, if you feel, this is the dad in me talking, by the way, and I'd say the same thing to my own lad upstairs. If you feel at all, Finn, in the next couple of days, even if it's the most like, even if you've got a tiny headache that's just slightly annoying, get your family, whoever's around you, get your mates, and get yourself to hospital. Don't be brave if you're concerned about anything, because I do. I try not to give away where I work, but I work in a place that helps people with those sort of things that happen to them, which I'm sure you can probably guess. But yeah, if you're unsure, Finn, get yourself to a doctor, and even if you've got a sick Finn in A&E for 6-7 hours, yeah, I know 6-7. If you've got to sit in A&E, do just literally get your mobile phone and look at whatever young people look on their phones. I don't know because I'm an old man. I don't know what young people do with their phones. Make TikTok videos, or is TikTok cool anymore? I don't know. I don't know. I'm being honest, to be honest. But yeah, no. But seriously, Finn, if you feel ill at all, mate, at any point in the next few days, get yourself to hospital, mate. Let's have a look. So far, I've got Randy to beat Cody, Punk to beat Roman, Liv to beat Stephanie, Rhea to beat Jade, and Brock to beat Oba. Well, that's what needs to happen, Finn. I completely agree. But whether that does happen, I don't know. Oh, hang on. Hi, Anthony, again. How you doing, mate? You're all right. Let me just go through that again, Finn. So you've got Randy to beat Cody. You see, I've got the opposite way around for that one. I reckon Cody goes over Randy, which I do worry about this because I think that's going to piss a lot of people off. Like, they've basically put Cody in the situation he was in last year with Cena. Because oh, did you, Anthony? Oh, nice one. Yeah, there you go. I bought that from where did I get that from? TK Maxx for like £1 or something like that a couple of years ago. Yeah, no, it's pretty good. I drink all my water from there. Hello, Ryan. I bet you're happy with life tonight. Hello, Madrid. Haha, Man City is something. Um, yeah, I've got a few Man City people that follow me, so I have to be careful how I phrase this. I have issues, Ryan, with oh God, how do I say this in polite people speak? I have issues with Manchester City's administration practices. Anyway, I'm sure you can guess what I'm on about. Sorry, Finn. I'm just going to go back to your listener. Oh, we've got LA Knight there for some stupid reason. What is LA Knight saying? It's going to end up being LA Knight and the Usos versus the Vision of WrestleMania, isn't it? I would have thought. Let's have a look, Finn. So you've got Randy to beat Cody. I'm just going to go with the other way around, Finn. I'm going to say Cody over Randy. The reason that I have a concern about that, if you remember last year, like they tried this with Cena and he was the overwhelming favourite. It ended up with Cody getting booed, and it's like that's kind of the opposite of what we're going for. Um, if it's a legacy wrestler against Cody at the minute, I worry for when Cody eventually faces CM Punk because I mean that's going to be borderline 20-80%. There is virtually going to be no one unless you're a massive Punk hater who's going to want Cody Rhodes to go over CM Punk. Absolutely hardly anyone. I think Roman would get cheered over Cody at the minute. Um, he could do with facing Gunther. That's just off the top of my head. Also, as well, that's a bit of a bugbearer of mine, which I am going to get to in a minute after the AEW. But folks, can someone tell me what in God's name is going on with Gunther? So he's retired AJ, Goldberg, and John Cena, and now he's had a bit of a bottom kicking from Dragon Lee, and now he's disappeared. I mean, what are we doing? Why does Gunther, who's just literally retired John Cena and AJ Styles, why does he not have a match at WrestleMania? I mean, again, this is what I go back to the booking. Gunther should be in one of the main events, in my opinion, because if they're going to do this career killer angle, then that was funny. I've just seen LA Knight offer his hand to Jey Uso, who did not look best pleased. Um, but yeah, if you're going to do the career killer angle thing, I don't understand why on earth would you not follow that up for? I mean, unless they are going to do something dramatic with Gunther at Mania, but I don't see what they could really do now at this point. To be honest, it's just a bit of a oh god, here comes Roman. 4 million quid a week for 5 minutes work. Roman Reigns. Oh, sorry, did I just say that out loud? Yeah, I don't understand. I don't honestly. I don't understand what we're doing because I mean, unless Gunther can be inserted into one of the world title matches, but he's not going to get inserted into Roman Punk. That's the main event. Not a chance. I suppose you could get him into the Cody Randy Orton, but I mean I don't even know how you would do that. So that's not an option. I was thinking he could be Lesnar's opponent to continue the whole legend killery Timu Randy Orton thing that he's doing. But now obviously Obafemi's taken that. So I, d- I don't know what else you give Gunther at this stage, to be honest. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that he's going to be involved in an angle at WrestleMania, but then it's like, well, he's going to have to cost CM Punk. Maybe him and Roman turn heel and he joins the Bloodline. But I mean, that would just be. I can't think of how they're going to pull this out with Gunther, to be honest. But yeah, it's really, really weird. Anyway, sorry, Finn, I'm reading your list. Punk to beat Roman. I hope you're right, Finn. I've got an awful feeling Roman might beat Punk. Liv to beat Stephanie, yeah, no, that's definitely happening. Rhea to beat Jade, yeah, and Brock to beat Oba. Funnily enough, actually, Finn, no, I disagree with you on that one as well. I think Oba might go over on Lesnar, and I actually think he should do, like I was saying earlier, like Brock Lesnar's had, as they say, a Hall of Fame career. I mean, he's multiple world titles, UFC champion. Um, he's got one of the biggest awards in wrestling of all time. He beat the Undefeaters, I can never say that, the Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania. That's easy for me to say. Which is one of the best honors that you can basically have in wrestling, essentially. Battered John Cena and a couple of programs. Um, yeah, I mean, he's had a career. I mean, whatever you think about Lesnar and whatever he may or may not have done, that's a whole separate matter entirely. But yeah, no, he's had a superb career, and Obafemi, I'm guessing, is in his late 20s. Brock, I'd imagine, is in borderline late 40s. Does Brock lead that win? I mean, again, this is what I'm on about. This is what I was talking to Logan about earlier. If WWE are going to start building new stars, then they're going to have to start beating some of the old ones. Lesnar's not getting any younger. Roman, look, I mean, I'm watching him now. He looks fantastic and jacked, but again, Roman's got to be in his early 40s, I'd imagine, or late 30s, something along the lines. Cody's in his 40s. Punk's 46, I think, something along the lines. They're all young, don't get me wrong, for wrestling wise, but they're not exactly 20-year-olds either. But yeah, no. Yeah, I agree with most of it, Finn, but I just think Oba could do with going over, in my opinion. But there you go. Did you see my video of my ranking of all John Cena's retirement shirts? I have not, Finn, actually, but I will tell you what. Let me just press my thing. There we go. Cool, nice one. I've taken a pitch, Finn, just to remind me. In fact, to tell you what, let me just I'll put it in my little section, which you and when all the advice that you and DT give me. I've still got your market thing, by the way. I've forgotten the name of the damn market now. It's somewhere on here anyway, but yes. Cena Tour. Cena Tour. Vid. Yeah, it's in there, mate. I will have a look. Definitely have a look, mate. But congratulations on your channel. You're kicking ass, mate. You keep going. Let's have a look. Hala Madrid, yes. What's your favourite song? What is my favourite song? It's a very good question, Anthony. See, I'm one of these awkward people, Anthony, to be honest. I kind of have a favourite song in genres. So, in fact, to tell you what, folks, I'm going to pause the Roman Punk thing and watch it after I've got finished with you guys. See, I love 90s dance. That's like my main thing. 90s going into early noughts dance. 90s hip hop going into early noughts hip hop, basically. But then again, I used to love new metal, so Limp Bizkit. Who else did I like? Puddle of Mud, Drowning Pool, the Linkin Park, Papa Roach, all them people. That was my era kind of thing. But then again, I like soul music. I used to, I still love Marvin Gaye. Heard it through the grapevine. Absolute classic. Bill Withers. Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone. Finn will be sat there going, what the hell is he on about now? But these were all singers, Finn, in the dark ages when we were like, we didn't have electricity, all that business. But then again, I like I used to love Sade, actually, Anthony. Smooth Operator. In fact, yeah, that'd be my top 10. I'd say, but then again, my favourite of all time is Tupac Shakur. There was a song he did on the All Eyes on Me album called How Do You Want It, which one or two of you may know. Yeah, we'll go with that, Anthony, actually. I'd need to have more of a think about it, because I am a bit of a list guy, as you may have noticed from Substacks and stuff. But I'm going to go with Tupac Shakur, How Do You Want It, on the All Eyes on Me album. And not that you've asked this, but I can tell you what my favourite album of all time is. It's Wu-Tang Clan 36 Chambers. If you've not heard it, do yourself a favour and listen to it. It's one of those albums you could literally sit there for an hour and 20 minutes and just listen to the album and not do anything else, basically. So yeah, hope that answers your question, dude. Ryan, it is 5:30. I'm going to sleep again. I have class tomorrow. Oh, sorry, Ryan, if I've missed you. Thanks for tuning in, dude. Night, Anthony, as well. Yeah, bro, it's early morning. Yeah, I was going to say, folks, I'm going to have to head off myself. I've not even got to Raw yet. I'm really sorry about this, guys, but it's been nice chatting to you as per usual. It's 11:41 down here in the UK. What time? On ending the stream, ending the stream. To be honest, Anthony, I'll probably be on. I'm just going to mention a couple of bits and pieces about Raw. I might be on for another 10 minutes. I need to go to bed myself because I actually have work, but yeah. So if I tell you a story about me being fired, it's probably something to do with this. Let me have a look. Yeah, I'd say about another 10 minutes, Anthony, give or take. It might even be 5, but I'll just go through bits and pieces of the comment. Ryan, we are 6 hours ahead of the UK. Yeah, Ryan, you definitely need to go to bed, mate. Come on. Finn, you'll overtake me in subset. Finn, I'm nowhere near you, mate. I think you're on about 36 million bloody subscriptions now, aren't you? Something like that. No, nowhere near, dude. Nowhere near. I just want to get my watch hours up, Finn, to be honest. Like I said, I think most of you know what my aim is, and all I say is, and I've been honest about my family and my friends and everything, I'm going for it this year. As in, this is what I would like to do. Now, obviously, Finn, you have a slight advantage over me in that you're like literally like I'm 3 times older than you, so you've got plenty of time to do this, dude. And I think you'll do a really good job, and I think you could do this for a living. I'm 46. Now, age is no barrier, but obviously I've left it this very. I mean, I only came to this literally really about 3 years ago. It was a bit of a laugh at first, but I didn't really start taking it seriously, to be honest, until probably last year, really, to be honest. Because I just enjoyed doing it and having a laugh with people and fans and family and friends, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know, ever since I've done the lives, because literally this time last year, I think I had, what did I have this time? I want to say it was about 600 subs or something along them lines. And literally it's gone up by like 1,000 in 11 months, which for me, I mean, it's probably not the most impressive number in the world. I think considering what I do, which all I'm doing basically is just sticking a camera in front of a fat guy head, basically. But I don't think that's too bad going, to be honest, for a lad who just puts like a few toy shorts on and chats rubbish about Liverpool and CM Punk. But yeah, I'm definitely going to go for it, dude, this year, definitely. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Let's have a look. If you have to pick an album for a month, what would it be? Well, Ryan, I've just answered that question, I think. And I don't like UK music because it's way too words of rap. Definitely 36 Chambers by Wu-Tang Clan. I'd say 36 Chambers, All Eyes on Me, which is what I just said about How Do You Want It, which is probably my favourite song. To be honest, I'm a bit weird with albums. I quite like you know, on YouTube where you get like DJs who will do like house music and they'll mix in loads of songs together. There's a lad I listen to called oh god, what's his name now? Oh, X Groove. If you're into house music, this guy, and I'm assuming it's a guy. Apologies if you're a lady, I do apologise. He's really good because that's sort of my jam now. I really like sort of house music. I used to listen to headcandy.com and also not headcandy, the other one. I forgot what it's called now, but Ministry of Sound as well. I used to put that on, and it was yeah, that's how I got into my dance music basically. But like in the 90s, I used to love stuff like I mean, Faithless, Can't Get No Sleep. I mean, that's just absolute banger. Zombie Nation, as in If you can believe this or not, I think I actually told this story last week, but um, I know I don't look like the sort, but I actually remember being on a revolving dance floor in Majestic nightclub, which was one of the biggest nightclubs in Europe at the time. And it was one of those things where they sprayed a load of foam. And I literally I still had my shirt on, but I'd taken my dress shirt off. And I was literally in the middle of this with like a whistle going, which yeah, I don't think I'll be going back to those days now. I think it would hugely embarrass my son, to be fair, if I did. But yeah, no, hope that answers the question, dude. Have a good night, man. Oh, thank you, Logan. It's been, if you've already gone, mate, it's been a pleasure to speak to you as always. You're always welcome on the channel, and just thank you for being a good mate on here, mate. You're top bloke. Cheers. I've got 2413 subs right now. You've got this, man. I'm here to support you. I've got some. How many have I? I want to say I'm on one. To be honest with you, I should take this more seriously, but I don't know. I've hit 1503, maybe. I don't know. I'm not one of the. I know roughly how many it is. I mean, I actually have got quite a few on social media. I think if you throw in social media, I've got probably just shy of 4,000. No, I don't think it's that many, is it? Maybe 3,000, something along them. Like I don't know, but across all my other stuff, because I'm on Facebook, Blue Sky. I'm trying to do some bits and pieces with Reddit, Instagram, Blue Sky. Have I just said Threads? I think I've got about 700 followers on that. So yeah, look, we'll see what happens, dude. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to hold my breath, but I'm going to give it a go. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But I'd rather just say, I'd rather just give it a go and see what happens. Wow. 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 Anyway, I think you can probably guess what I'm saying. Wow. Oh yeah, you're all right. How you doing? Yes, Arsenal again. Yes, blah 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 blah. Yes, doing way better than these guys. Yes, no, congratulations. Yeah, I think it was 2-0 tonight. There we go. I'm sorry you lost. How are you? Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not too bad. I am extremely tired. So I'm going to be going to bed soon, by the way. But yeah, no, I'm all right. Yeah, I'm not doing too badly. I've got I am just. I was saying this to Logan earlier before he was on. I am basically counting the days to April because I will be having around 2.5, maybe 3 weeks off work, and I am pretty desperate for that because I am absolutely shattered. And I'll be completely honest, one of the weeks, Mrs. Better will not be here, and neither will Baby Better. They will be going to a certain place in Yorkshire, and I will be sitting here on my arse drinking beer. I might even sit here and drink beer with you guys because I'm going to basically the TV that you guys can't see, which is just over there. I'm basically just going to watch hours and hours of television and do absolutely bugger all. And in fact, to make it even worse, I'm going to order an entire box of takeaway. Yes, you did hear me right, by the way. When I say a box, I do mean a box. And basically, I'm going to be proper blokey, and I'm going to sit there eating takeaway. I'm going to throw it all in the fridge, and so I don't have to cook the next day. Basically, I'm going to warm up the takeaway and eat it for lunch, dinner, and breakfast. That is my plan. By the way, any young people who are listening to that, don't do that. It's really unhealthy. It's also bloody brilliant. I'm here for it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I love it. Absolutely love it. Yeah, folks, just very quickly, because I don't even know where I got to with AEW, which wasn't the thing I was actually meant to be talking about. It was meant to be Monday Night Raw. Anyone who's watching and listening on podcast, by the way, because I know there's quite a few that listen to podcasts, I'm really sorry I've hardly talked about Monday Night Raw. Let me just get through a couple of bits here and there. Yeah, there was a trios match. I've already talked about that. Okada needs to be challenging for AEW titles, not for trios titles. Andrade versus Bandido, I did not see because I had to start fast forwarding things at that point. I actually missed the Dogs versus Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy because I had to start like sacking matches off basically, so I can't comment on that. And well, I mean, to be honest, I talked about MJF and Hangman with Logan earlier. Like I said, just to reiterate, it was absolutely fabulous match. Loved the syringe spot because I'm a bit of a. It was very, very horror movie esque, and I can be a bit of a sicko sometimes in that sort of regard. Yeah, no, it was a fantastic match. Like I said, I don't know how they're going to reconcile booking Hangman to get his world title shot back. I've no idea, but they're going to have to do something. Right, so very quickly, very quickly, folks, I'm just going to talk about Monday Night Raw. Like I said, guys, who have been hanging on. I have a very good mate of mine who we usually talk about wrestling. By the way, dude, I won't mention your name, but shout out to you for your videos. I forwarded one on to Reddit for you. It was actually really good. Shout out to JSW Wrestling. And if you are watching, dude, I'm really sorry you've had to wait all this time for me to talk about Raw. I do apologise, but with the time it is, to be honest, what I'll do is I might talk about this tomorrow as well during the Liverpool stream because, yes, folks, you are going to see me in the streets of Leeds again tomorrow because, stupidly, I'm going to see the second half of this Liverpool match after the gym, which I'm not looking forward to. But, yes, I might talk about a bit about Raw as well, but just very briefly, obviously, Brock Lesnar, we now know he's facing Obafemi. I think that's the right decision. The only one I would have given it to would have been Bron Breakker or Gunther, but I think Obafemi is the right decision. I mean, Brock did generally, the way that Brock sold that fear of Obafemi was magnificent, so shout out to Brock Lesnar for that. I really like the way they mixed in the Seth Rollins bit with the ninjas. I'm quite gutted that the ninjas didn't do the whole Benny Hill thing that they did last week. By the way, if you're wondering what on earth it is I'm talking about, just type in Seth Rollins Ninjas Benny Hill. I believe someone's done a compilation. I saw it and I nearly spat my food out the other day. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. To be honest, in terms of Monday Night Raw, it's probably a bit weird because I've had to watch it in stages. So I still haven't actually seen the CM Punk promo with Roman. I know Punk drops Roman at the end of this, so I'm going to watch this when I get off with you. When I finish the stream, guys, basically. So I can't really comment on that. The Americanos storyline, please, for the love of God, can we just reveal them to be Ludwig Kaiser, Chad Gable, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate, I think is the other one as well. Please just end it. Thank you. And then, yeah, it was a bit weird actually, because I don't think we actually had that much wrestling again, really, to be honest. There was the whole thing when Roman Reigns turned up and crowds going mental. It was quite strange, that segment, because basically he ended up talking to the Usos, but then he ended up talking to the cameraman, and then the Usos again, and then the cameraman. It was very, yeah, it was quite odd. That I'm not really sure what that was entirely necessary, really, to be honest with you. AJ Lee and Bailey definitely match of the night for me. That was an excellent match. Wouldn't be a match of the year or anything like that, but I thought it was a solid effort between two world class women. Yeah, they were really, really good. Shout out to both ladies for that. The Becky Lynch beatdown was very, very well done. It's very much looking like we're getting Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee, which I'm definitely here for WrestleMania, because obviously I love both of them. But I would have thought Becky Lynch will get her title back, and then AJ Lee will probably go back to her Hollywood film script writing or advocating or acting or whatever the hell else AJ Lee does. She's like the busiest woman in the history of the world. So yeah, shout out to AJ Lee. Though. She does look really, really good actually. As a wrestler, before anyone says anything. Although, yes, I wouldn't say no if AJ Lee was here. But she's also CM Punk's wife, so please don't anyone clip that because I don't want to get beaten on by CM Punk. Then there was the really weird segment with Randy Orton, who hasn't been on Raw for a year, maybe longer than that, talking to Michael Cole about what he did to Cody. whilst also being on the phone with some. I didn't. I don't know if I missed something with that. That was a bit weird. Very, very strange. Like I say, I've talked about the Gunther thing as well. I genuinely do not understand. I mean, unless Gunther is injured, I mean, what are we doing? WrestleMania is in literally like for what 3.5 weeks, and Gunther, who's just beaten um, John Cena, Goldberg, and AJ Styles, and technically ended all three of their careers, does not have a match for WrestleMania after the banner year he's just had. Why does he not have a match for? I mean, in terms of titles, I mean, I, honestly, I don't. I mean, what are we doing with Gunther? It's just it's really, really daft. Let me have a look. Mohammed, I subscribe to your channel. Oh, thank you, Mohammed. That's very nice of you. Very, very nice of you. Cheers, mate. Nice to have you on board. Sorry I've talked about Monday Night Raw so late, by the way, Mohammed and everyone else. I do apologise. Basically, look, if you subscribe to my channel, I'm very, very grateful and thank you very much. But I know I usually title it as Liverpool live stream or WWE live stream or AEW live stream, whatever the case may be. I end up talking about all sorts on these live streams and taking questions and stuff because I actually like answering people's questions about random stuff. So if I don't always talk about the subject matter, I do apologise, but it's kind of like a variety thing. I like talking to different people about different things. So yeah. Pence versus Dragon Lee, like I said, I've only seen it briefly while I've been talking to you guys. Looked like a decent enough match, but Pence has gone over. And then while I was talking to you guys, I basically stopped writing everything down. So I can't actually. Stephanie McKay has just beaten Raquel, but then Io Sky came out to get revenge, but then went after Liv Morgan, who then dropped Io Sky onto a table, but then lost to Stephanie Vaquer, which doesn't make a great deal of sense to me, but there we go. Danhausen has cursed Grayson Waller, who got moved away from the curse by Kofi Kingston. Can I just say, Danhausen is brilliant. It's just absolutely. Even when he's not particularly trying to be funny, like like honestly, I think he's hilarious. Like, what a guy, what a guy! I'm definitely here for Danhausen, and I'm definitely here for him being in the main event of WrestleMania and cursing Roman Reigns. That would be very, very cool as part of Team Punk. And like I said, the bits that I haven't seen, guys, so I've not seen I couldn't hear the promo of Randy Orton because obviously I didn't want it playing over my own feed because they're not getting lots of trouble. And I haven't seen CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. I know Punk basically drops Roman, but I don't know in what context just yet. There was also a backstage with Logan Paul and Paul Heyman that I've missed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-listen to all the promo backstage segment bits, and like if there's anything else, I'll do some bits and pieces on it during the week. Yeah, there was also a bit of LA Knight talking to the Usos. Like I said, I'm going to assume that is going to lead to a triple threat match, which leads me to also assume that maybe Bron Breakker is going to be fit for WrestleMania after all, because then I don't know, why would you do LA Knight in the Usos versus Logan Paul and Austin Theory? It's not exactly going to get the blood pumping, but I think it's probably because Bronson Reed definitely is not going to be fit, but he's no chance. I don't think he'll be back till SummerSlam, but Bron Breakker is definitely, I think he's going to be fit. But we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, very, very briefly, that was the Monday Night Raw review. So sorry, guys, that it was quite late, but I didn't actually talk about AEW beforehand. So look, maybe I should start retitling this the wrestling show. I guess I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But yeah, yeah, that's pretty much it from me, folks. Because I am conscious of the fact it is now 5 minutes past 12 in the morning, which I was supposed to have been asleep 20 minutes ago, but it's fine. There we go. Yes. Well, what's your name, sweetheart? BVX. Look at this bum. Oh, yes, absolutely. Did you look in the mirror? See ya. Yes, sorry, folks. Like I said, I do get targeted by these complete and little bell ends and virgins and incels. I don't know who that bog troll troglodyte excuse for a man was, but yeah, I certainly hope he enjoys his mother's basement for the next 40 years of his life. See, I can cut a promo too when it's called for. Anyway, folks, this bum is that very strange person, whoever he was, has a point, because I'm going to basically go to sleep now because I've had enough, and I'm very, very tired. Yes, hi Anthony. Yeah, I'm leaving now, mate. I'm just wrapping up. Yeah, I need to go to sleep because it's been a long day and I need to get my 8 hours. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, mate. Just to say, folks, very, very quickly, like I said, I'll be back on tomorrow after the Liverpool game, hopefully around 10:30, give or take. So I'll be doing Liverpool live stream. AW on Thursday might be earlier because I've got something or other. I just can't remember what the something or other is at the moment. But yeah, I might be doing a sort of afternoon stream on Thursday. Friday's Toy Shorts Friday. Saturday will be the late night SmackDown reaction show. Sunday, I'm not sure about, just because I know Liverpool are playing Brighton. I think it's on Saturday, or it could be on Sunday. If it's on Sunday, I'll just do it on Sunday. But I think I might just do the Liverpool Brighton reaction on the Sunday, basically. So yeah, I'll be on most of the week pretty much. Also, as well, just very, very quickly before I go, speaking of these guys, I will be at Anfield a week on Saturday for Liverpool Legends versus Borussia Dortmund. So I'm going to be very, very quickly going around the ground. So I'm going to be doing live, basically live from Anfield for about 20 minutes, and then there'll be a match day vlog and shorts and goals and all that business, blah, 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 the usual thing that I do. What else have I got coming up? I'll let you know what I'm doing for WrestleMania, but I think I'm going out for one of the nights to do it, so I might actually do it live in a pub, which might be quite interesting. And I've got Leeds Horror Fest, which is April the 4th, so that's going to be, what, 3 weekends time, something along the lines. So yeah, there's loads of stuff that's coming on the channel, and like I said, I'll be getting the AEW tickets not this Friday, but the Friday afterwards, and when I get paid, basically. So yeah, lots of cool stuff coming up, but I will do all the announcements after that. So yeah, cool, nice one. I'm going to get off, guys. So thanks everyone for watching. It's been cool as per usual, and I will see you tomorrow for Liverpool torturing your boy. Yay, can't wait. Brilliant. Right then, guys, see you tomorrow and have a great night. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.